Sean Diddy Combs is saying he's sorry 2 days after a video exclusively obtained by CNN shows him beating Cassie Ventura inside a hotel in 2016.
This is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
Hold on tight, because the entertainment world is buzzing with one of the most shocking updates right now. You won't believe what's happening. Sean Diddy Combs seems to be making a dramatic escape from a legal nightmare that once seemed impossible to get out of. Yes, the same Diddy who's been under intense scrutiny.
Problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see.
Whirlwind of allegations over the past couple of years. Just when it seemed like everything was closing in on him, things are starting to turn around. Is this the game-changing moment for Diddy, or is it just a brief calm before another storm? Get ready, because this ride is about to get wild.
This, along with Cassie's lawsuit that you talked about earlier that was settled, reads a lot like what we saw in the R. Kelly case in the EDNY.
The anxiety doesn't stop there. Claims of emotional distress were also tossed out. The judge called those accusations too vague and generalized, basically not specific enough to stand in court. You've got to wonder how Lil Rod and his team are feeling after this blow. His attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, didn't exactly escape unscathed either. The judge slammed him for his filings, calling them filled with inaccurate legal statements and unnecessary personal attacks on opposing counsel. Ouch. But Blackburn's not backing down. He's keeping his head up, telling Rolling Stone that a win is still a win, and the real battle is just getting started. He's hinting that discovery is about to kick off, suggesting there could be more
It's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety.
Revelations on the horizon. But seriously, how much more is out there, and will it be enough to turn the tides? That said, don't get it twisted. Diddy isn't out of the woods just yet. While a big chunk of the case has been stripped away, some of the more serious allegations are still in play. The court has allowed claims of inappropriate conduct and questionable behavior to continue, particularly under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. And here's the kicker. These allegations don't just involve Diddy. His chief of staff, Christina Coram, is now in the crosshairs too. According to the lawsuit, there are specific incidents where Jones claims he was coerced into uncomfortable situations, including being transported across state and international borders for dubious purposes. This is heavy stuff, and the fact that these claims are still moving forward means this legal battle is far from over.
Okay, moving on. Diddy being accused of assault by male employees.
Oh my God, no.
Yes, oh my God, yes.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, you know who we're talking about. Kanye West. In a move that's as controversial as it is attention-grabbing, Ye recently came out in full support of Diddy. And we're not talking about just a casual tweet. No, this was a full-blown social media rant where he essentially accused Lil Rod and others of trying to extort Diddy. He reportedly wrote in one now-deleted post, "Everybody you know got a story, but they so mad at Puff." He even went as far as to suggest that some of the allegations were exaggerated or straight-up fabricated for financial gain. Love him or hate him.
Listen to everybody, but you believe all proof.
Believe the facts.
This video is proof.
Hands down proof.
Kanye's voice carries weight, and his public support for Diddy has definitely added a new layer to the drama. But here's the big question. Will this help or hurt Diddy's case in the long run? That's the million-dollar question. And let's not forget the ripple effect this has had on how the public views the situation. Some fans are rallying behind Diddy, claiming the case dismissals prove there's no real evidence against him. Others, though, see it as just another example of a powerful figure avoiding accountability. Social media is absolutely buzzing, with debates about whether Diddy's legal team is just better at playing the game, or if the accusations really are as flimsy as the judge seems to think. One thing's for sure, this case is quickly becoming one of the most polarizing celebrity controversies in recent memory.
I've had clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Let's talk about what this all means for Diddy's future. Could this be the beginning of a comeback, or is it just a temporary break?
Stacey Schneider. And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob
in an ongoing battle. Remember, this isn't the only legal issue Diddy is facing. There are still multiple lawsuits and allegations swirling around, some even more shocking than Lil Rod's claims. And let's not forget the federal criminal charges Diddy is up against. Those are a whole different beast, and legal experts warn they could have serious consequences if the prosecution's case holds up. So
indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
While this recent court ruling might feel like a win for Diddy, the road ahead is anything but smooth. He's facing a broader pattern of controversies over the past year. His name has been dragged through the mud in ways even his biggest fans couldn't have predicted. From former collaborators to ex-partners, it seems like everyone has a story to tell. Yet, Diddy continues to deny all allegations, maintaining his innocence and insisting that the truth will come out. Is this confidence, or just another layer of his defense strategy? Only time will tell.
So I think that those situations lend to maybe some issues with tampering. And I do feel like there are victims who are scared to come forward, including my client. She was very nervous about if he was going to get bail this week. And once I told her, and then come after people, including her and some of the other individuals. And she was very relieved when he did not receive.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, you know who we're talking about. Kanye West. In a move that's as controversial as it is attention-grabbing, you recently came out in full support of Diddy. And we're not talking about just a casual tweet. No, this was a full-blown social media rant where he essentially accused Lil Rod and others of trying to extort Diddy. He reportedly wrote in one now-deleted post, "Everybody you know got a story, but they so mad at Puff."
Does he have a shot? I think his attorneys raised some good arguments.
I think they raised good arguments as well. Maybe this will be third time's the charm, because the difference between this bail motion and the prior two is that this one really does get to the heart of what the court was concerned about, which was witness intimidation.
He even went as far as to suggest that some of the allegations were exaggerated or straight up fabricated for financial gain. Love him or hate him, Kanye's voice carries weight, and his public support for Diddy has definitely added a new layer to the drama. But here's the big question. Will this help or hurt Diddy's case in the long run? That's the million-dollar question. And let's not forget...
Yeah, that's trying a criminal case in the modern times. A lot of evidence is on electronic devices, cell phone, tablets, computers, things of that nature. And the devices, especially if you have like external hard drives, 90-something terabytes of data on a single device makes me think this is some type of hard drive. That takes weeks to go through just for one device on its own.
The ripple effect this has had on how the public views the situation. Some fans are rallying behind Diddy, claiming the case dismissals prove there's no real evidence against him. Others, though, see it as just another example of a powerful figure avoiding accountability. Social media is absolutely buzzing, with debates about whether Diddy's legal team is just better at playing the game, or if the accusations really are as flimsy as the judge seems to think. One thing's for sure, this case is quickly becoming one of the most polarizing celebrity controversies in recent memory.
Do your due diligence, and his team should have did the due diligence. And a lot of times people do slip through the cracks. There's things that you don't see and don't find out until later on. But I mean, when people are making claims like the way people are making claims, you have to do your due diligence to make sure that if you're having that person on your platform, which is a huge platform, that you're putting out the proper and correct news.
Well, the problem is,
what's undeniable, though, is that the stakes have never been higher for Diddy. This isn't just about clearing his name, it's about protecting his legacy. We're talking about a man who built an empire, who's been a cultural icon for decades. But now, that empire is hanging by a thread, and every new development in these cases has the potential to either save him or bring it all crashing down. And let's be real, the court of public opinion is just as important as the actual courtroom in cases like these. Will the dismissal of some charges sway public sentiment in his favor, or will the remaining allegations keep the shadow of doubt firmly in place?